Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. I know everybody has heard at least something about the Olympic Games, and today I thought I would also like to talk to you about the Olympic Games a bit. Now, one article that I read in a Christian publication says as follows: the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games is supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it was an abomination. It was supposed to be a festivity. Instead, it was blasphemy. Now, Billy Graham once had a preaching about what's wrong with the world. He asked the question, what's wrong with the world? And today I want to ask that same question, what is wrong with the world? And I also would like to give you some kind of an answer. And the problem with the world today is sin, sin, sin. It's always sin. The problem that we as humans are sitting with is that we love sin so much. Hell was never created for humans. Hell was created for the devil and for the devil's angels or the people who followed him. And it wasn't created for humans. But we love sin so much that we choose to go to hell. Now God, on the other hand, is trying everything in his power to keep us out of hell. He even sent us his son Jesus to die on the cross to save us. Or I can almost say to try and save us, because we still have to choose to do the right thing. When God made us, he gave us a free will. And he allowed us to choose what we want to do with our lives. He will never force us to love him. He will never force us to follow him or not to do sin. We must choose to do that out of our own. The problem is also that so many people are living in sin today, and they think that they are right and that they don't do anything wrong. And that's a big problem that we're sitting with in the world. People that believing that they are right. They are actually doing sin, and they're looking for all these verses in the Bible to explain why they feel that they are right and they are wrong. But the Bible tells us a different story, and I'm going to read for you out of Isaiah 5 verse 20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. I have seen one of the street preachers the other day preaching on the street corner there at one of these, what you call this thing, G2, B2Q something. He was preaching at that thing, and how the people attacked him and said that he must stay quiet and that he must stop preaching there. You know, they have started this thing now of GLB, what is that thing, GLBTQ, of GLBQT, of whatever it is. But I just want to tell you, to give something a fancy name doesn't mean that it's right. And I can tell you now that the Bible will also confirm that. I also want to read for you in Romans 6 verse 23. And it tells us that the wages of sin is death. Governments approves all these things of gay marriages and people that can marry when they are two men and they can marry when they are two women. But I can promise you, according to the Bible, it's wrong. And it doesn't matter what you call that thing or what you say about it or what verses you want to take out of the Bible to say that it's right or to make you feel that it's right. It's like a person who's drinking, got a problem with alcohol. You will always get the verse that tells you that he's allowed to drink. You know, give wine for someone who is in sorrow and things like that. You know, so they will always take that one verse and that's their verse and that's the reason why they are drinking. But if you look more into the Bible, you will realize that that verse is actually taken out of context. And a lot of things are taken out of context in the Bible. People just take the one verse and then they believe what that verse is saying. But they must read the whole piece, the whole thing that was written about that and why it came to something was said about that. And then they will realize that what they are doing is wrong. and that it's sin, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it, it will always be sin. I mean, if you look at the Olympics where everybody's talking now about the Last Supper, and now they say they didn't mean anything about the Last Supper, but okay, let's say they didn't try and joke with God in his Last Supper. Look at the guy standing at the table, the gay guy, with his privates hanging out of his pants. And then there's a child just standing right in front of him by the table. If she turns around, she's going to look straight into those things hanging there. Now for him, it's just a normal day, and that's how he dresses, and that's what gay people do. But that's wrong. And the Bible tells us, if you lead children to do things wrong, it's better for you to just kill yourself. The Bible says it like that. You must kill yourself if you lead children astray. And to stand like that next to a child with your things hanging out, and what example do you actually show to this child? I mean, do you really want to tell me that you believe that that is right?